Hello YouTube, and welcome to the first video by Godhardgaming. Today we're going to be looking at Inuit the Snowfolk. It's a 2 to 4 player game, estimated time 30 to 45 minutes, recommended age is 13 plus. Now this game is an engine building game using a deck of cards and some player mats. It was released in 2019 and it's actually a re-implementation of an older game that came out in 2017 called Natives, something you may want to check out. First of all, for this video, what I'm going to do is I'll have a look at how the game is played. Then I'll give you my thoughts on how the games have gone that I've played with family and friends, what I think about the artwork, and a couple of little bits towards the end about some of the expansions that are included in the box. So first of all, let's look at how the game is played. Here you can see you've got a player mat, and the player mat is colour coded. We have purple, green, orange, and there's a red one in the box also. Right here I've got a 3-player game set up. The player mats are broken down into Elder, Shaman, Warrior, Whaler, Bear Hunter, Seal Trapper and Scout. I'll explain a little bit more about what those mean later on in the game. You want to place the player mats in front of each player, and there's 2 cards you need to start off with. The first player card and the Polar Nightfall. When this card is dealt during the game, that symbolises the end of the turn and the end of the game. This card will be shuffled into the bottom 10 cards of the deck at random, so when it is dealt further on, it ends the game. You can choose however you want to issue this card, whether it's the youngest player, oldest player, whoever won the last game, or whoever came last in the last game. Choice is yours. Once these 2 cards have been dealt out, you then need to look at the other deck. This deck of cards has all sorts of different cards inside of it. You want to give it a good shuffle, and before anyone starts the game, you're going to turn 5 cards over. So here, I'll start to turn them over. I have a Wight, a Child, a Spirit, a Seal, an Orca, and we'll leave it at that. They're the first 5 cards. Now, for the sake of the video, imagine I'm going first. The aim of the game is to score points, and you score points through hunting animals, Inuits in your village that are of your tribe, and that's colour coordinated. I'll explain a bit more about that. Collecting certain rights, and collecting weapons from fallen Inuit that you kill with your warriors. In a turn, you have to turn a card over. Everyone has to do that, you don't get a choice in the matter. However, you can turn additional cards over. You can turn 1 additional card for every scout that you have. Now, I currently have no cards at the player board, but for the purpose of the game, you have to imagine you have 1 of everything here. So you have 1 scout, 1 elder, 1 warrior, whaler, bear hunter, seal trapper and shaman. So if I chose to do so, even though I don't have a card here, everyone has 1 scout, I can turn 1 additional card over if I choose to do so. So again, I'll turn a card over. Now I'll explain what you've got. This area here is called the Great White. And when you turn cards over, these cards are a pool of cards that everyone in the game has access to. And when it's your turn, you choose a type of card from the Great White that you're going to take and put into play. Now that could be an Inuit. So there's purple Inuit here, which goes with my colour here. So that means for this Inuit I will get 2 points, as you can see by the number 2 at the bottom. Now, if I take an Inuit, I can place that Inuit under the Elder if I wanted to. I can recruit 1 Inuit because I have 1 Elder with no cards there. If I recruited this Inuit into the Elders, on my next turn, if there were 2 purple cards or 2 Inuit that I wanted, I could have 2 from the Great White and make them join my tribe. Shamans allow you to use more rights and spirits. Warriors allow you to kill more Inuit in the Great White. Whalers hunt more whales. Bear hunters hunt more polar bears. Seal trappers, as you've guessed, hunt more seals. And scouts, as I mentioned before, turn more cards over in the Great White. Now imagine I didn't have this purple card, that I hadn't drawn it. And instead I was only given the choice of, say, this Inuit here. Now this Inuit, as you can see, is of the green tribe, the green colour. Now I can recruit this Inuit, that's not a problem. But at the end of the game, when that Polar Nightfall card is drawn, for every Inuit in your tribe, or in your village, not of your tribe, so of a different colour, the points at the bottom become negative. So you'll actually get -2. So it's a good idea to try and fill your village with Inuit of the same tribe as you. Now equally, as the game progresses, let's say I've got a couple of cards and I've got a scout here and a warrior here. Okay, and let's say it's gone round, it's back to my turn and I've turned cards over. I could use a Rite of Inspiration. And rites have a little condition on the bottom, a little instruction. This one says, draw 3 cards from the deck and add them to the Great White. And this is worth 4 points. If I was to take that card, I would place it above the Shaman. Inuit go to the bottom and represent your village. All other cards are placed at top, whether they're warriors killed, game hunted, rites or spirits. So this is worth 4 points, but it also means to draw 3 cards for the next player, and that might give them more options for their turn. So there's pros and cons, and it's something to bear in mind as you're playing and building a strategy. Spirits will give you victory points for certain conditions. So the fox, I don't know if you can see, gives you 2 victory points for every scout. So if I had that spirit, again, it would go by the shaman, and for every Inuit under the scout, I'd get an additional 2 points. So as the game plays along, you'll hunt more seals, whales, you may recruit children, and children are of 2 tribes. So this one is purple and orange. Now if I recruit this child, I can use like any other Inuit. There could be an elder, a shaman, whatever I choose. Maybe I'll make this child a bear hunter. But because they're of 2 tribes, they will give 1 point to each tribe they represent. So I would get 1 point, being the purple tribe. But equally, the player playing as the orange tribe, they would also gain 1 point for this child being in my village. Likewise, if orange had recruited them, say as an elder, I would get 1 point at the end of the game for that child being in their village. And let's say, for argument's sake, that green had recruited them as a seal trapper. Green would actually lose 2 points because the child doesn't represent either of their tribes. However, orange and purple would still gain a point for that card being in play. So you really don't want to be recruiting children into your village that aren't at least part of your tribe. And as the game goes on, you'll draw more cards, you'll fill the Great White, you'll get more seal trappers, and so you can take 2 seals and they're worth 2 points each. So the game builds up. As I said, it's an engine building game. You recruit Inuit, you hunt animals, and you can do more of one action for the more Inuit you've got recruited into that job specification. How you want to build your village is your choice. You may be dictated slightly by what's drawn into the Great White, what other players do. And that's essentially the game. So I've covered what scouts, elders, shamans do. The hunters are fairly straightforward. The more hunters of a particular type, the more of that animal you can hunt per turn. The only other thing I've not mentioned are warriors. Now let's just say I had a couple of greens in the Great White and it's my turn and green's coming up next and they've got no Inuit for whatever reason. They've played very poorly. With my 2 warriors, I can kill 2 Inuit that are in the Great White. So what I would do is I'd actually kill the 2 green Inuit. I'd then turn them over and place them above the warrior stack. Each turned over card is worth 1 point. And it represents taking the weapon from the Inuit in the Great White. What I've done there is not only have I gained 2 points for those 2 Inuit that I've killed, but I've denied the green player 4 points, and more importantly, 2 Inuit to work in the engine or the village that they're building in order to build up more points. So that, in a nutshell, is how the game is played. Next, I'm going to talk about the quality of the components and the artwork and any thoughts I've had on the games I've played so far. Okay, so welcome back. So now to look at the artwork, the components, thoughts I've had, and I'll tie up the video with one last few comments. So first of all, the artwork. Absolutely love the artwork. I think it's fantastic. You only have to look at this cover to see the kind of artwork that's in the game. It's really well designed. It's a really good theme, not one that I've seen in many other board games. And it's just pleasant to look at. In terms of the components, the cards, they feel great, good quality. You know, they're not particularly flimsy, they're not, you know, they seem quite durable. I've played quite a few games and there's been no damage to any of the cards. And again, all the cards have fantastic artwork. Obviously, that's probably my only criticism with the artwork, is it repeats. You know, the male adult green Inuit all look like that, and it's just a recolour for purple and for orange and red. But that's nitpicking. It's fantastic artwork, and I really can't complain too much. For scoring, you get a little paper book at the end that's broken down into the different areas you can score for. Makes the game really easy to score at the end. You know, I mean, as you work your way through, you're going to run out of these eventually, but there's loads of scoring pads there. That's not an issue, and you can always use another piece of paper if need be. The instruction book, again, front cover artwork on there. It's laid out really nice, really easy to read. I had no issues whatsoever setting this game up. It didn't take very long at all. The instructions are easy to follow. Nice diagrams, really good explanations as to what cards do. And, as hinted by this page, the box actually comes with some expansion modules. So I've not actually played the game with the expansion modules yet. I've just played the base game in its simplest form with friends and family. And to be honest, I've had a great time, and everyone else who's played has had a really good time playing this game, just in its simplest state. However, I am quite excited to play with some of the new cards. We've got some new rights, a new spirit, then there's also almost like weather cards. You've got sunrise or high sun, so like times of the day, should I say. And these have little bits of writing at the bottom that tell you what they mean. You've got conflict cards, again, they explain what they do. And quite excitingly as well, we've got some legendary items. So you've got drums, bows and arrows, a mask. And these look really good. And the artwork's really, really good on these. And they all look unique. So I'm excited to use those. And then we've got some great variants of the different animals that you can hunt. So this game has a lot of replayability. You can change your strategy up, plenty, with the base game. And with the expansions, there's still more to learn, new strategies, new tactics to employ. Overall, I think this game is fantastic. I bought this from the UK Games Expo, got a really good price on it, but even at full price, I'd highly recommend that anyone pick up this game if you see it in a shop, especially if you're into deck building / engine building games. Not really deck building, it's engine building. So yeah, gets a thumbs up from me. I hope you liked the video. Please comment below with things I can improve on. This is the first video I've done, so I admit that, you know, there's plenty of room for improvement, but I hope people like the video, subscribe. I plan making plenty more. I've got a fairly moderate game collection, so I'm going to start talking through all the different games that I've got, as well as all the new ones that I pick up along the way. Okay, thank you for watching, and goodbye.